But,
No, we had an AC guy out to the house today. This is about the 5th time a guy's come out.
I can tell the AC's not working at all.
Not working at all, yeah.
What was the name of that firm? I mean, let's give them out as a
Dewey, Cheatham and Howe. It was the same. They also do legal work.
We need to give these guys a buzz, right? I mean,
they buzzed us pretty good.
yeah, they do free
7
snow
sticks
removal.
and it's 100 degrees in every room in the house that was supposed to be impacted.
Yeah, but like one of them turkey thermometers, we could like just stick it in our ear right now. I think it's like
Just too much. But anyway, bottom line is I got this bet now with this guy from Philadelphia.
from Philly, and you got a 2-game lead, I think.
2 Espada subs
Yes.
versus his 2 Geno's cheesesteaks.
Well, that's only going to cost you about
You
what?
must have been to Philly for the cheesesteaks. Are they any good?
Yeah, no, I mean, they kind of migrated down to the Jersey Shore, Wildwood, Atlantic City, a lot of Philly guys. So you had your cheesesteaks on the boardwalk, which, I mean, I grew up with.
Well,
Right?
why is it that nobody can make a cheesesteak like these 2 places where they line up?
Well, that's just,
And they treat you like absolute crap, right? If you don't know how to order it.
it's a bunch of baloney. I mean, what do you need? You need a skillet and some steak and some cheese. I mean, come
Steak
on.
them, right? And they use like the cheapest stuff.
Probably. It's just the good grease from the thing. I mean, that grease has been on there for
Is it
years.
an illusion? Does he delicious? Oh, no. Good food is gotta be good food.
So, come on, half the people in the street are drunk. You give them anything. If you got the munchies, like if anything tastes good, right? You're stumbling.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's
Circuit breaker. Yeah,
Yeah, you never want to fry the talent. First rule of thumb.
Right.
Don't fry the talent. It's the number
No,
one
like I
rule.
said, I mean, I was buzzing
In
when I
TV,
came in
yeah.
here. I thought it just might have been me, just, coming on.
You're on an absolute roll today. What did you do? You must have won a ton of money over the weekend.
No, I didn't do anything. I mean, the Haskell was this weekend. Great day for New Jersey. Fat ass Christie got himself in the picture.
Yeah.
After literally trying to close every racetrack in New Jersey.
Yes.
There he was, right in the winner's circle with American Pharaoh, celebrating like he was one of the owners. It's a great day for New Jersey. It's a great day for Monmouth. You tried to lose everybody. Tried to end Monmouth.
But I'll give him this, and you're kind of hooked on that. I'll give him this. He did try to, get gambling legalized. He was very much in favor of that.
Of what? The sports betting?
Putting sports betting in, yeah.
He's trying to do that, and if he doesn't get it passed through,
Frank is counting on it. I saw an interview with the president.
well, the guy Hill,
He's desperate. Kalina is the guy's
yeah,
name.
Bob Colina is the guy running the track.
Seems like a decent guy, but a little spaced out.
Good enough guy. He's
Yeah.
probably out there, but then everybody from Jersey's a little bit out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, this whole deal with Christie is that William Hill, the guy who put up the cash for the Haskell,
Yeah.
that $1,750,000 didn't just come out of nowhere. I
How
mean,
nice is that, too, if you're like Baffert and these diettes, they just add $1 million to the purse?
$750,000.
That's how you run the horse. I think it was great, though. I really did. I mean, as a sports fan, that was one of the best things.
They set a New
Could've
Jersey
happened.
record, 60,000 people at the track. I mean, that was good.
I don't know. Do you consider that a setup race? Because, people always say, and this is right out of your old Andy Byer about the worst crop of 3-year-olds.
Yeah. No,
I
I like your 3-year-old joke better. That
Oh no, about Cromartie, but no, the Andy Byer tape, and he's on. I remember him being quoted. We did an interview with Byer, and he was talking about this is the worst crop of 3-year-olds since Plug Nichols taken to win the Derby. Does it really matter? I mean, it is what it is.
No,
as
I mean,
Dave once said, I would say.
I believe that these horses, this horse American Pharaoh is really that good.
A freak.
No, I think he's a super horse. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, he could be right up there.
Why do people want to take shots at him, though, and say, well, geez, I mean, to win the Derby, then come up in the mud in a Preakness, then run a 1.5-mile race in a Belmont by 5 lengths under wraps,
The
come
past,
back, take 6 weeks off, and you still have decent horses in there, right? You had Keen Ice who ran in the Derby. You had Upstart.
They've got like metal detectors out now. I mean, this is what's
I
going
think
out.
Dory was looking on the shore there. He was, had his metal detector out.
No, he looks like some guy that's down there searching for bracelets and stuff, right? That lovers have lost in the sand over the
This
summer.
great crow should not be infiltrated by static.
No, it's a shame too, because I think we have one of our biggest audiences out there today.
Tell those two to shut their dildos.
I can do it, man. I think that's what sparked up Kyle's ire.
Yeah,
at the
no,
beginning of the show, yeah.
Is the one sending me that shit.
Yeah, no, that's a shame.
By the way,
That's a
where's our
shame.
fudge?
You know that little unit there that you have there, isn't that the one he usually puts up in the corner of that your unit right there? Yeah, but he usually puts it up. He usually has it up on the top of that tower there, and I don't know why he puts it up there, but he does.
It could be too close. It's possible.
You know, it's good. We got a bunch of guys. It's like the
Now-
emergency
Yeah.
medical help showed up at your house.
Yeah, they're like
Rick's
plugging-
on the floor pumping a guy. You would think that we had a dead body on CSI to examine.
If the sound is really bad, it's like perfect time for me to do my singing debut. You know, because then nobody.
You did that already.
Nobody
right?
would
Did you
hear
do
it.
Blue suede shoes here on the
No,
show?
that was last week.
That
but,
wasn't too bad. But
that's-
yeah, and I thought it was a great thing, and you got to be especially proud being a New Jersey guy and a guy that was weaned on Monmouth Park.
Yeah, no, it was a great day for New Jersey. It was
You
a great.
called it too. 60,000.
60,000.
60,000 people. There you go. That's what it was all about.
Too much frequency.
It was the glass table.
Too much juice.
Too many Jews.
No, it
on the
wasn't
show.
Jews.
Oh,
It was
Jews?
juice.
He's always complaining about the Jews on the show.
So I basically
only one,
told
right?
him. I told him put that thing up there. You know, in
Kyle,
Jersey.
right?
No,
You're an engineer.
Yeah, beautiful, right? Hey, take that thing and put the
Put it
thing
up
over
there.
there, and then look,
You solved the problem.
solve the problem. That's nice.
Wireless signal. That's what it was doing.
Anyway,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm smart. I'm smart. What do you think?
Funniest thing you said.
What do you think?
You're the Yoda. You're Yoda.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Oh no, you're Obi-Wan.
No, I like that's the goofy brother in The Godfather, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm smart. I'm smart.
Alfredo, yeah.
Fredo.
Before they put him in the boat.
Poor Fredo,
Yeah, they
poor
loaded him up in that
Fredo.
little rowboat, man.
Yeah.
You would think that Michael Corleone would have had a better boat, no?
Yeah, I mean,
He's got
come
this
on.
little stupid tin rowboat. He's taking his kid out in there, and they're in the middle of the lake, and they're dropping bodies in there like there was no tomorrow.
Tells the kid, you want to catch fish? Say a few Hail Marys.
Yeah.
It's gonna help. He better say a
Fredo's
few.
number was up. There's no question.
That was it. Poor Fredo. He threw a 7, right?
But a lot of fun. This American Pharaoh thing was great. And
No.
does he come back and run in this Travers, or is that too soon?
Why not? I
1
mean,
month
you know,
away.
it
Why
did-
not run him again, right?
It didn't look like he used too much. I mean, he was in hand basically. Give him a little snap at the top of the stretch, and he drew off. And then he was kind of holding up on him, just looking around. Yeah, no, it was.
What do you do in that race as a degenerate slob gambler? I mean, do you make a cold exacta punch, a $50 try?
Well, it's,
Try to nail a second and third in order, and
it's funny you ask. As
You
a,
did do it.
as a degenerate slob gambler.
put a little keen ice over Upstart?
We did. We found a horse in the. I guess it was like the 9th race, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Right.
So we singled him
Oh, good.
with an all in the pick 4
And it worked.
with American Pharaoh.
Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got back a whole
$8?
$83.40.
Well, you got to hope for the balloons in there. I mean, you got to hope for some long shots.
It was a $32 ticket to cover all bets. You
Yes.
know, we were hoping for a price. We got 9 to 5 and 9 to 5.
Not
We
too bad.
started with a $25 horse in the first leg, but we got 2 9 to 5 shots after that. So, I mean,
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that
When
sucked.
you take the good gamble, you make the right play.
It was the right play, we
Yeah.
thought, but then, of course, I was reminded by our good friend George the Animal Steele that if we would have just taken the $160 that we invested
Yes.
in multiple pick
And
3s
nailed
and
the
pick
thing
4
cold.
and bet the horse to win,
Yes.
yeah, we would have been
Would've
out
made
with
more
like
money, yeah.
$2,100. So,
All right.
Yeah,
But,
no,
good thing all the way around. I guess he's going to run for sure in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
that's a for sure.
And,
And
of
one
course-
more, I think one more, maybe 2 more
It'd be
before
great if
that.
he was in the Travers before that. That would be wonderful. Yeah, you know what's funny about that sport too, and it's like any sport, but especially so in horse racing, where no one's ever satisfied.
Yeah.
You hit for 1,500, you go, God, it should have hit it more times.
Right.
Or, oh God, look at this! I would have had the super if I just boxed it instead of the try. Everybody's always dissatisfied.
Nobody's ever happy, like I mean, there's always got to be more, and that shouldn't be the case.
And in this case, I mean, the Zayat's not the most beloved people in racing. He stiffed a lot of people. I
yeah,
mean,
that's the rumor.
Who
And I-
has more bad checks out there, the Zayats or Larry King? Around the track, anyway. Probably King, I would have to think.
Long be $50.
You ever have that happen to you with Larry King? I mean, you go down to Hialeah or Gulfstream, and some teller that's
They
like
still
90
have
years
his.
old,
They still have his checks pinned up on a board there.
90-year-old guy comes up to you and goes, "Hey, you know people. Like I can fix this for him, right?
Right.
You know people.
Yeah.
You tell that Larry King to get his dumb ass over here and pay me the money, right?" And he owes him like $85.
$80, yeah.
But still, I mean, 85 to that guy is a lot more than would mean to Larry King, who made millions of dollars after that. But
When he was white,
left everybody holding a bag at Hialeah Park. It was
that
amazing.
is a true thing that's going around. I mean, that rumor's been
It's one
around.
thing to stiff a bank.
Right.
It's another thing to stiff a parimutuel clerk. Who's,
Don't stiff your
just trying
teller. I mean, the guy's going to mess up your tickets for the rest of your life on purpose. Oh, you
think-
wanted the 6-2 box? That'll be a 6.
I think they do anyway. Nothing more frustrating than that.
Than getting the wrong tickets?
Well, no, because remember when they had that guy that was deaf and blind that was taking tickets at Gulfstream? punching
What?
Tickets?
Hello?
That guy, yeah.
What? You wanted the 2? The 2?
Yeah, and you call it out perfectly because, you have certain racetrack, demeanor.
You're
that-
giving the guy numbers. He's so bad. You're like, 6, the 6, you got it 6, and the 1. And the guy, hello, what? And he's always turning in his.
Push that chair forward a little bit, or you're going to get hit with a bowling pin.
Oh, this is nice.
Hey.
Somebody actually just asked me about something that's behind Kyle.
Yeah,
Okay, his past, which is ugly.
Oh,
If you want to know the
Real
truth.
Spud said the noise is coming from the bowling pin behind Kyle.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
he was rocking the bowling pin there. He looked like Earl Anthony was lining up to make
I-
a 10 pin.
You know, I always wonder about this house, because he's kind of an unusual suspect. He's one of those guys. Some of these things could be bugged. Like there could be a microphone in that bowling pin. Watch what
I've had that happen to me.
yeah, watch what you say.
It's not a pleasant experience.
No, watch what you say
Well, you
around
can tell
here.
too. I mean, if you're not naive about criminal activity, which I tend to be, but you can tell when a guy's just hanging on the phone trying to get you to say something.
Right,
Have you
right.
been in that spot? Well, what about that money
Yeah.
that you transferred into your bank account in Guam? Like what bank account in Guam?
Yeah.
The money you transferred to the
You
bank
know,
account
the
in
money.
Guam.
Yeah.
So finally, you just say, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, it's all in there.
Right, next thing you know, the feds close in. They got helicopters.
Yeah,
everything.
they're
Okay,
throwing-
so that's where it is, huh? What's the account number? It's like, what are you talking about?
They're
You guys are out of your minds.
Throwing you in the back of the Broward County Sheriff's van. There he goes.
They love it, man. They love to make a spectacle of the rich and famous.
That's right.
That's for sure.
That's right.
All right, I'm watching a lot of football. I don't know if you're catching any of this on NFL
I
Network.
don't know. These guys
The training camp
training,
stuff.
working out? No.
You know what really struck me today? They zeroed in on the Cleveland Browns training camp.
How's that going?
Well, there's Johnny Manziel, and I didn't know if I was watching football on the NFL Network or midget wrestling. This guy looked like Chief Strongbow.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
Who were some of the famous ones?
I don't know what the tag team midgets that used
Tag
to
team midgets.
they used to bring out in the WWE or whatever it was.
They were great, yeah. Jory knows a few of them, actually. He dated a couple of female tag team midget wrestlers. Never good when you're bringing one to the prom and you're trying to impress the captain of the football team that you got a hotter chick than he does.
Yeah. No. Easy to dance with, though, and
Well, yeah, I mean, just hold your arm up there and that's it. But
she can't argue with you about where you're going. You just put her under your arm and carry her, right? I mean,
That's it.
How big, will that go down? I guess at the number 22 pick, you could never say this, but that may loom as the biggest mistake in NFL draft history. People are always going to point to a couple of guys, Ryan Leaf going number 2. There's been any number of number 1 busts, guys that could just not play the position, and
Right.
we've seen it time and again. RG3 may end up in that category, although at least he had like some semblance of a decent year his rookie year, but this Johnny Manziel just doesn't look the part. I don't know. He may go on and have a great season. That would be my luck the way I'm predicting things. But
there's no shortage of these guys though that in college that they were really that good and they made a lot of noise, and then when they got to the pros they just stunk it up, right? I mean,
the question marks with this kid though were pretty obvious.
got Tebow too, but I mean he went as a I don't know what his round
Tebow was the first round, end of the first round. He might have been either the last or next to last
Right.
pick of the first round.
I mean, but you could go through history. You're going to come up with a bunch of them that they
More
stunk.
so than made it big, by far.
Oh yeah, probably
More
so. I
than
mean,
did the shit.
well, if you look at it, I mean, if you look at the quarterbacks in the league, what are there? 10 good quarterbacks maybe that you would want to have on your team, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably count them on one hand, unless you're Jason Pierre-Paul, in which case you probably got to go to the auxiliary hand to get to 5, right? What is it? Did you see this guy?
He's doing a new commercial or something for South of the Border. Since I'm driving up to Jersey next week, I could just see him, telling you to come on in.
4 quarters, yeah, come on in.
4 miles till south
They had
of
a
the
picture
border.
of him in the
yeah.
post, and he was wearing like a sling, and he had a thing on his hand.
Yeah.
And we've seen guys play with this before, but it was the size of like a clown boxing glove, like if you were having one of those celebrity boxing matches.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, no wonder he doesn't want anybody to see this.
Do you remember when Screech...
Does he even have a hand
Do you remember
anymore?
that kid Screech from Saved by the Bell? Remember, who did he fight? Arnold Horshack or something? That was a biggie.
He fought Horseshack and lost.
That was like a classic boxing match. What did you get on Horseshack? You bet Horseshack that night.
I think
didn't
I had the Shack at 2-1. The greatest ever of those, though, I mean, and far and away the most comical, was when Manute Bol
Yes.
fought Fridge Perry.
Well, that was a good one, yeah.
Manute Bol fought Fridge Perry and beat him.
I remember that. Perry just exhausted himself.
Fridge Perry was
Fell
like
flat on his ass. I mean, it was like after the second round, he was done.
400 pounds,
Yeah.
right, going against a guy that literally his arms are no thicker than a pencil, who
He
probably
looked like
hasn't.
a praying mantis in there, I mean, here's...
You would have thought that Bol was fighting a lion in the jungle somewhere. I mean, the way this guy attacked
Yeah.
Fridge Perry. And Perry went down. I think he got knocked out by
I
Manute
think
Bol.
Bol sidestepped him, and then down he went. He just kind of stepped off to the side, and the refrigerator just, boom, that was it.
How is that possible? I mean, you're looking at, what appears to be a total mismatch. No NFL guy should lose to Manute Bol. I don't care how weak you are. I mean, just the fact that the basic entry is having to bench like 400 pounds 50 times, you would think that would be an automatic win.
Look what happened to the Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice, yeah, but he was a bit of a fraud, no? I mean,
Right.
I don't want to say that and have him come to the house
Steps
here
into
and
the
beat the
octagon
crap out
and
of
gets
us.
knocked out 14 seconds by a guy who was a substitute fighter.
Was that the guy with the pink hair?
That
No,
was
the pink hair guy.
Yeah.
Seth Petrozelli, the
Yes.
Razorback.
He was
Yeah.
the guy with the pink
He
hair.
had
That
pink
happened
hair.
here
I
in
mean,
South
come on.
He's
Florida.
tough, and he came out and I barely hit him and knocked him out.
If I were up from, in New Jersey, if you get beat up by a guy with pink hair, that's not a good
If
thing.
you saw those internet videos that Kimbo Slice made it on,
Yeah.
it was always some guy, that was like 5'6", 240.
It's like these guys that go
Right.
bum fighting.
With
They find a
Seagrams in his
Yeah.
hand.
yeah, they find a bum and then
Slice
they
would
beat the
beat
crap
the
out of
living
him.
daylights out of the guy.
And they
and-
get in the cage with a real fighter, and they find out it ain't quite the same.
Yeah.
Not the same. No, they turned out to be pretty bogus. But I can't. They got to be puking over there in Cleveland. They got Johnny Manziel. They ended up getting McCown.
Is that their starter guy? I mean, that's it.
Manziel can't start for this team. He can't start for anybody. Did you see him out there last year?
He didn't look good. No.
No, he made Geno Smith look like he was Gino Torretta when he was at the University of Miami, which wasn't good. I talked, by the way, to one of your favorites, Mike Westhoff,
Oh, you did.
today, the special teams coach.
Right.
Well, he's no longer coaching. But,
No, but I mean, like many years with the Dolphins and then with the Jets. I mean, I
he
love
was
him.
great. I mean, you know what? He was a lot of fun, and it's surprising, really, that they're going to have the Canton inductions coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
And they don't have a category for assistant coaches.
Right.
Which, I mean, there's a zillion assistant coaches in the NFL. The head coaches get in there almost as a matter of routine if they achieve a certain number of wins or amount of fame.
Westhoff, though, like the wizard of special teams.
Westhoff, without question, was considered and still is the greatest special teams coach. And
Yeah.
you got to look at the factors there. You have offense, defense, special teams. It's a third of the game. Supposedly, I don't necessarily equate it as that, but
No, but I mean, special team play. I mean, that can turn a whole game. I mean, the guy drops
kickoff return,
block,
turnovers,
punt, block.
blocking a field goal and taking it back for a touchdown.
Huge.
How many times have your Jets been victimized by that?
A lot.
Too many to care.
At least 10 a season. I mean, come on, they're good. If there's a way to lose, the Jets are going to find it. I mean, if there's a crack in your emotional armor,
Yeah, he said he sees signs of life in Geno. He doesn't think he's ever going to be great. Geno Smith, quarterback of the Jets, who's going to get the starting nod.
he's a fiery guy. He gets mad. He's competitive, but I mean, he's still. I think he just lacks that little bit of talent. I mean, even when he was lighting it up down in West Virginia, he was throwing for 500 yards a game, 500, breaking all kinds of records.
Yes.
Then they got wise to him and they shut him down. So it's.
Do you think it's a head case thing with him? I mean, he seems to. I mean, he comes off as being confident, and yet at the same time, it seems like some of this stuff is getting to him. He was ranked by the people in the NFL, the players, to be the worst quarterback in the league, which that's got to be insulting, no? I mean, you're a top-notch athlete. Just that last game alone against the Dolphins, you would have thought this guy can play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they were playing against the Dolphins, and I guess the Dolphins weren't trying. The guy threw for 400 yards that day. I mean,
how do you throw in the towel though in an NFL game? I don't care if you're going on vacation tomorrow. You play 16 games. No, really.
No, I'm leaving Thursday. But no, I mean, and I threw in the towel on Monday. But no, I mean, they had no shot. The Dolphins were out. But I mean, you would think if your rivals are coming to town, you don't want to look like a bunch.
Home.
You don't want to look like a bunch of
beat them
fools,
once.
right? You got to smack the Jets around a little bit.
Sweep the series.
The Jets just kicked the crap out of them. I mean, it was great.
What
Dolphin
was the
fans
score
were
on that?
leaving.
Like 50 to whatever.
It wasn't that bad, but I mean, the Dolphin fans were leaving in droves, which I mean, it was good.
Doesn't take much anyway.
Yeah, no, they're leaving anyway. But I mean, it was a beautiful day. It was a December. Nice, cool December day.
You were there, right?
We had the cooler.
You stayed to the end.
Hey, for that kind of money, they should be strapping it up every game, trying to take somebody's head off.
Yeah, no, you would think, and especially the Jets. I mean, that's like a bragging rights thing. You don't want to go down to these guys. But
Or the Patriots, it's just the way it is in South Florida.
Jets had 3 wins coming into that game. Dolphins had 8.
And Rex was getting fired regardless.
Well, you knew it was Rexy's last game. That's the main reason I went down
You
there.
go out being the team that put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, right?
Getting it.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, in the NFL, it is true. I mean, more so than any other sport. You're playing for your career. And you could make a showing in that last game, and it might bolster you into a position where you actually come into the next season
Right.
as somebody that the team thinks they can count on, or you can dog it and just go into the tank, and you'd have to think a team would be inclined to maybe take a look at revamping their roster a little bit with your name scratched off. Your name is no longer on the list. All of a sudden, it's a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
that's kind of like you go around, when you go around a track and you ask me, who do you like, Kyle? Oh, I love the 3.
Cheat.
Just
take it right off.
Yeah, right through the line.
Take it right off. Take the weight right off.
He knows who to ask, right? He goes around, picks certain guys, and there's only one horse left, and he usually wins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, little congratulations. You give me a win bet on Saturday to put in for you, which I
owe you the 20, yeah. It's
my
buddy's 20.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't your
Francesco,
bet.
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I put the
He'll
bet
be hosting
in.
a show here on Sports Stream, Pasta and Ponies, pretty soon.
Yeah, Pasta and Ponies and bad picks at the track. He's going to give you that one.
You know what's sad, and this is funny, it shows you what a small world it is. Not to dwell too much on the racing aspect of it, but...
No, let's.
Okay, so he calls me and he says, his buddy is the jockey, Luca Panici.
Luca Panici.
Luca Panici. Great name, right? Hey, Luca Panici.
Yeah, I love Luca.
In fact, we often joke with Luca that he should have a gambling hotline for degenerates.
Yes.
Where he doesn't give selections, but it's like a Gamblers Anonymous thing, and you could call 1-800-LUCA Panici.
Yeah.
All right, so great name, great kid. I mean, he's not even a kid. He's like 40-something years
But
old.
he's a good rider, and he
Good,
always
yeah,
gives
solid.
Always tries with the horse. That's what I like.
So anyway, Francesco calls me, and he says, Lucas says he's going to win a couple of races at Mountaineer Park. Like Mountaineer Park, what's he doing at Mountaineer Park? That's some schmanky track in West Virginia.
Yeah.
All right, so, and they usually race at night, don't they?
They do, but this day, it was their big day, so they were running during the day.
To be honest, it's a pain in the ass to make bets for other people, is it not?
Yes.
Usually it ends up in disaster.
Yes. And
the guy loses and you never see the money. How often is that?
You don't see the money. But when a friend of yours calls you and says...
Yes, well, you're going to try to get it in.
Not knowing the odds of the horse. If I would have known that the horse was 1-9,
you would have booked it.
I would not have put the bet in. I mean, it would have given you $3 if the thing would have won anyway, right?
All right, so he says that Luke is going to win the first race at Mountaineer. I'm thinking, what's he doing at Mountaineer, first of all? Was that some kind of stakes race?
It was. It was a $100,000 stake.
Oh, my God.
Owned by your buddy.
I didn't know that until I saw a picture on Facebook.
The bail bondsman.
No, not the bail bondsman. My accountant, who's also my bail bondsman.
Oh, all right.
It's Casbar and Company, bail bonds, and accounting.
There you go.
Because you got to account for the fact that you left town. But no, he's been in horse racing for a long, long time.
Right.
And, he's had like a modest stable of horses. A few, that ran. He was mostly, in fact, when I met the guy, this was the great thing. You walk into an account, you're in a tax jackpot.
Right.
You have no justification for anything. You don't have a single receipt, nothing, no catalogs, no ledgers.
The IRS is sending you nasty letters.
Not even nasty letters anymore. They're sending people to your door.
No, they're knocking on the door. This isn't good when it gets to that point.
They got guys measuring like the rooms in your house.
They're measuring
taking clothes out
for your coffin.
Guys asking you for your car keys. So I'm in a little bit of a jackpot.
Do you own that vehicle or are you leasing?
Do you have the title anywhere here, Mr.
Is the title nearby?
I'll have to look for it. So anyway, I go on a first encounter with Johnny Casbar, who has an accounting firm in Hollywood, Florida, and I see the pictures of the horses on the wall, and I'm thinking, all right, this guy's got to be cool. Looks like he's into racing. He's got a couple of pictures of him in the winner's circle.
Right.
And sure enough, he turns the screen to me as he's doing my taxes, and I'm thinking he's going to say, $32,000 will take care of it.
Right.
And what does he turn to? He's on the Suffolk Downs entries for that day and says, what do you think of this horse?
Who do you like in the third? Yeah, no,
I'm thinking this is my kind of guy, man. And I've been with him ever since, 25 years. But oddly, Casbar is in the winner's circle. And I guess he owned that horse that Luca was riding, and he picked up the $60,000 for the winner's share of the purse.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. You introduced me a couple times to him.
He's had a couple at Gulfstream that we've been able to capitalize on from here. He doesn't like to give me his horses because he knows I'm going to backwheel him.
Well, the thing is that, and the thing with that is nobody really likes to give you a horse if they really are kind of a friend of yours because they don't want to hear. Number one, if the horse gets beat, you don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the aftermath, and then the other end of it is. If you do win, then they expect you to give your winners all the time, right?
You win.
So,
and if you lose, you still win. So you sent this thing in. Did you think about betting it? Booking it? Because
no, I didn't.
His horse had no shot.
No, because it was the first.
He led for about a half a mile. Not the Luca horse, but the one that
the
you actually
four
bet.
Ball. Yeah, no, but again, I opened up my mouth and said, Luca Panici, buddy, likes this horse, and he spoke to the jockey, and it's.
Oh, don't tell me other people bet.
Everybody went in.
Oh, no.
You took down half the tiki bar. When the next time he shows up at the tiki, there's going to be death threats. They're going to be offering him poisonous drinks because.
I want to bring out pictures of Francesco. I'll make sure that he's with me.
You took down the entire tiki bar with that.
I apologize.
Forward.
You should have known better. I bet no money on it for myself.
They wheel into the far turn. He opened up 3. It looks like he's heading for the wire, and then the wheels came off. There was ball bearings and everything just flying all over the track. It was over. Yeah. The whole transmission dropped out, and it was over. But
you were thinking about mercifully, laying this.
I felt like sending you a text, lose my number, but it's just such a cliche now. And I didn't do it. I let you alone.
All right, very good. All right, we'll take a quick time out. We'll come back. We'll be with you till
how's things back there with the technical?
You guys going okay? You technical wizards on the other side of the glass there, as they say?
No more static, no more nothing. How are the boys doing up in Atlantic City at the Steel Fudge?
You're
going to be seeing them.
Me again.
Are you going to go up there? Or are you going to go?
I'm going to be there Friday at Resorts International on a comp through another friend of mine that's able to get those things. And
I texted them and I said, "Hey, how's the stream on your end?" They replied with, "Well, ever since we've been using Saul Palmetto and Flowmax, our urinary stream has been fantastic."
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the live broadcast? Yeah, it's fucking fantastic too.
All right, well that's good. The weather's great up there, and I'm heading up. I'm heading up there. I'll be there Friday in Atlantic City. I'll spend one night there, and then I'm off to Long Beach Island for the week of the summer of. Sex, drugs,
Summer
and rock
42,
and roll.
I'm
just kidding.
Who's that chick in Summer of 42? Jennifer something. She was like O'Neill, Jennifer O'Neill. Remember that? She was like smoking hot at the time.
Yeah, back then in 40.
She dead? Is she still alive?
Nah, she's
not looking too good.
She's not good.
I'll take a couple.
The last time I saw her, she was like 80 doing a commercial for Chock full of nuts or something, wasn't she?
Yeah. No, I think she was doing a commercial for the bamboo pillow, which I.
A bamboo pillow?
Yeah, you haven't seen this thing?
No, what is this?
It's a pillow that's got some bamboo, cover on it or whatever. Not an actual bamboo wood, but some kind of weird thing.
Not the kind.
And no matter what position you get into, you're in perfect comfort.
Really?
$29.99, and you get a second one free if you call right now.
Yeah, all right.
I saw it the other day.
They just sent an address to meet with you at. They want to schedule.
Oh, beautiful.
They want to see me about a couple things that they didn't like what I said on the air. And
2719 Boardwalk, Atlantic.
There you
close
go.
to the
Tropicana. Yeah. Very nice.
By the Tropicana.
You'll be there, yeah.
Come by the Tropicana. Joey Boots and Jimmy the Hat are going to meet you. They're going to pick you up. You're going to go right over there. You're going to see those guys. We're going to have a couple cocktails. We're going to discuss everything that you said on the air because a couple of things, we didn't really like what you said there, Jersey Kyle. So you may have a little bit of a jackpot when you get up here. I think I'm going right to LBI. I'm not stopping in Atlantic City. It's not happening.
All right, we'll come back with more in a minute.
We'll be back
and,
right after this message from our sponsors.
Our fine sponsors.
At Steel Fudge in Atlantic City.
They should be putting up some money for the show, you guys. Come on. Pay up.
It's a sticky situation, this fudge.
You're out of here, man.
We'll be right back with DeFo and Jersey Kyle Martinez. Stay tuned. More to come.
Loves it. He goes, you and DeFo on Friday. That's the best show Friday.
Does he like what we're doing?
He loves it.
Good. Welcome back to the program here.
Here, enjoy some of that.
15 more minutes or so on the SportsStreamNetwork.com, which is growing like a weed. It's just unbelievable what's happening with this.
Due to the social media, the Facebook and the Twitter.
You had 8 to 10 people alone.
I got a whole 8 people.
Contact you and say, hey, man, I remember you when you were young.
Yeah. What the hell happened to you? I haven't seen you in 10 years, you old bastard. I know, it's not good.
All right, here's something that got to me today, and very little does when it comes to money in sports.
Something got to you?
Well, it struck me as being really odd.
All right.
And there's a bidding war on, and I guess it was finally won by either Nike or Adidas. I think Nike. Might have been Adidas. I don't know. One of those two. The two sneaker giants.
Right.
Were bidding for the services of James Harden of the Houston Rockets.
Oh, for sneaker contract.
Yeah, sneaker contract. $200 million they're going to give him for an endorsement. To endorse sneakers. Now think about that. What are these sneakers going to cost that this guy's endorsing if they got to lay out $200 million?
$1.50, $1.25.
$1.50, right? Now I'm thinking back to the day. Remember, you probably fall into this category. Where
I did it. I mean, I spent $1.25 for a pair of Jordans at one time.
You did?
Yes.
See, that's
I mean, the fact that I tried
that offends my sensibilities.
Well,
I
mean,
don't want to hear the Jewish jokes.
No. I'm just saying.
It has nothing to do with that. It's basketball integrity is what I'm talking about.
But you know what? They were the best sneaker out there. Obviously,
Air Jordans. You didn't get the one that pumps up.
No.
With the air, you needed lessons to walk on those.
No, but they were. You know what? They might not have been, but they were about $1. They were definitely around $100.
$1 would almost be reasonable by today's standards. Yeah.
Not anymore. I go to the rack room over here. I get 2 pairs for $1.
You get the ones that were tied together. I don't know. There was a place in New York called S. Klein's, and the shoes were all tied together.
A string.
They weren't even the same size.
Yeah, a string of shoes.
One was a 9, the other was 10 in a hook.
Yeah, all different sizes. You can
buy them because they're cheap. Yeah, unbelievable. Tori's going to give you the 20 that I own. But anyway. $200 million. Now picture this. I mean, these are companies that are making a fortune. I mean, they are the biggest whores and pimps in the universe. They make Kathy Lee Gifford look like a saint when she had those, they
make Frank Gifford look like a saint.
Well, yeah, I mean... Give Frank some credit, man. He was still sending it in.
He was sending it in everywhere, right? Yeah, I mean, come on.
The fact that she forgave him, I find a little bit suspect.
Kathy Lee,
It probably came about because of guilt that she had over having those, Chinese immigrants that she had in some sweatshop in Guam.
Yeah, she'd literally go there herself and, tase them to keep them moving.
They were paying them, not even 10 cents an hour. It was 10 cents a month.
Horrible. I mean,
to make these sneakers that they were unloading for about $300. I couldn't help but think back. I remember my mom giving me that look. I don't know if your mom had that look.
Yeah.
When she was going to go ahead and sign off on something, but she was going to eventually be right.
Right.
Or so she thought, that you were making a really dumb move.
Yeah.
And at the time, the 3 big sneakers were, there were 2, PF Flyers.
Yes.
And Kids.
Yeah.
And they were in about $3-4 a copy for those sneakers back in the day. I'm talking about circa 60s.
But if you were a sports guy, you had to have the PF Flyer.
No, that was the last thing you wanted. You had to eventually transform into the Chuck Taylor Converse All-Star.
Yeah.
You never had the low-cut blacks?
No, I had the high tops. I had the Chuck Taylor white high tops.
White high? Okay, whatever it was. You had the Chuck Taylor Converse All-Stars.
I had to go with the white.
And what was it? It was the tread. That's what it was all about.
It looked like something my mom made from a waffle iron. I mean, did you remember the bottom of that thing? It looked like my mom was making those.
Something George Foreman would have invented.
Yeah, there you go. Or your boy Ron Popeil,
Popeil would have been embarrassed by the Chuck Taylor Converse All-Stars. But the great thing was, without any endorsement money, who was wearing them? Hondo Havlicek.
Yeah.
Bailey Howell, Don Nelson, Bill Russell was in high-top Converse All-Stars.
Right.
And so I remember a friend of mine, Cliff Keller, I'm playing basketball. I had just kind of taken up the game. He says, you got to get yourself a pair of these. And I'm thinking, what are those? And he showed me the tread, and it was like he gave me the claw, like it was George the Animal Steel. I was like, whoa, look at that. I'm tired of sliding on my ass every time I go to make a move to the basket, which was rare. But, if I'm going to shoot this jumper, I'm going to have the best grip on the ground that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And they were $8.
Do you remember the Upstart team, the Upstart sneaker that came out, the Puma?
The Puma was, another
with
one
With Walt Clyde Frazier.
Highbrow, expensive, foo-foo sneakers.
Had a little, fur on the side. They were
you had to be good if you were going to wear the Pumas.
Yeah, I mean, Clyde endorsed the Puma. Frazier was the first guy with the...
The Chuck Taylor, did your mom ever have that look where they were $8, okay? And the
other
sneakers
were
$8, 3 or 4.
Right.
And my mom, it was my money. I always paid for things with my own money. I always worked from the time I was like a small kid doing something.
Most kids did,
bucks,
though. I mean, they had the paper route, or they did,
did
they
some lawns,
pushed the
shoveled some
shopping
snow.
carts. Yeah.
You did a few things. You would help an old lady out to the car with her groceries, and maybe she'd give you 50 cents or something.
And you'd say, hey, how about another number?
Give me another number. Well, at this time, I mean, I had a few bucks, and because I had been doing something, I don't know, paper routes or something, and I was going to unload $8 on a pair of sneakers, and my mom gave me that look, and she said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Ma, it's embarrassing. I can't show up to this game with PF Flyers or Keds on. I got to wear the Chuck Taylor Converse All-Stars, and besides that, I think it will improve my game."
Yes.
Is there anything to that? I mean, if you're buying these $300 James Harden sneakers now, do you really believe in your heart of hearts, if you're like today's modern 9-year-old, that your game is going to get better?
Yes.
And if you're the father of that kid, you immediately tell him that he's going to get a beating like never seen. Like Adrian Peterson was. No, really. I mean, if he makes you buy him like $300 sneakers, you're not springing for that. I don't care if you just won 2 dimes at the track.
Well, you don't want to dishearten the kid. You don't want to tell him, look, kid, no matter what you wear, you're still going to stink. I mean, you don't want to say that. So you have to encourage the kid. Get him the sneakers, you cheap bastard.
How is it worth it? I mean, James Harden, though, let me ask you. I mean, James Harden, good player, right?
Right.
Are you going out and buying his shoe?
No.
Are you buying anything that he's on?
But if I had
maybe a fake beard if you wanted to, rob a bank?
If you got a 13-year-old kid that's playing in some BS league,
are you buying him $300 Air Jordan, extraordinaire or whatever
youth
they are?
league? No, I mean, I'd probably get a pair of something else and try to make them look like the other ones. Like give them a forged pair or something. Well, they're not.
He's talking about $200 million for James Harden to endorse anything. I don't care what he's endorsing. It's absolutely insane, doesn't it?
I don't.
You want to pay him $200 million to play basketball for 20 years?
But all these guys, I mean, even that Dwayne Wade, the N1 sneaker, whatever.
Wade is a bona fide. I mean, am I missing something? I like Harden. Look, I liked him in Oklahoma City. But what is the one characteristic we've seen of James Harden on 2 distinct occasions?
Yes.
You could take the whole series that they had in the championship round against the Heat about 5 years ago.
Right.
And I remember saying this on the air. I said, you know what? The key to this series is going to be how are the Heat going to stop James Harden? And the guy just stopped himself. He was horrible.
Right.
They lose in 5 games. Harden was a bricklayer. He looked like Ginobili did a couple of times in the series that the Heat beat the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, how could this guy be this bad in the clutch? You can't consider this. You could lead the league in scoring. You can't choke 5 games in a row in the playoffs, can you? The Oklahoma City Thunder had an amazing team. They had Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant.
No, they had a great team.
And James Harden. 3 of the best scorers. I mean, they could finish 1, 2, 3 in any year in scoring, even if they were on the same team.
Yeah, they just didn't have it, right? There's almost like
they looked great. They
looked like somebody got to them,
They blew him out in the first game. You would have to think that maybe there was some foul play involved. Lost 4 straight, and Harden was horrendous. And now the only other time we really saw him in a significant
Come on, they shouldn't have played that bad. Somebody got to him. They threw the first game.
You think Donaghy was winking, the referee, the crooked ref?
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen.
Yes.
We can't leave out the topic of Ronda Rousey's 34 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about
34 seconds.
Anyway, $200 million for Harden, ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ronda Rousey, are you following this chick?
I'm not.
Okay, I'm not a big MMA guy. I do have experience with it. We talked about it before on the show.
You have experience with her?
Very dutifully, no, not with her.
Oh.
But she would fit the type, though, except she's a little too strong.
Yeah.
I don't want to go with any chick that has mastered the arm bar. Do you?
No.
Right? You're in bed, you're thinking, hey, I'll just lay back like the typical old Jewish guy that I am, and all of a sudden, you're having to tap out. I don't want any part of that. You can't have sex with Ronda Rousey, can you? I mean, she's liable to hurt you. It's very possible, but she's the only chick in the category is the problem.
She may be very different in bed. You don't know that. I mean, that just might be her ring,
probably,
appearance.
She's never going to be able to speak from experience.
She may be very soft and loving in the bedroom.
It's possible. Maybe
right
she's
away.
Searching for the right poetic type of guy.
Then again, she may knock the shit out of you when you get in there.
It's very possible, yeah.
You see DeFo come out of the bedroom and he's all bludgeoned.
Look, she's used to saying this to the chicks that she fights. Is that all you got?
Yeah, right.
I think that would be almost an automatic conclusion.
Oh man, yeah, that's.
If we're talking about any of us in the room, for that matter, you guys that are laughing at me.
No, I get it, Jay. You know, it's hypothetical,
but here's the thing. I mean, there's only one other chick in all of women's MMA that could give this woman a run, and that's this freakazoid named Chris Cyborg. And the story behind it goes, Cyborg. There used to be another babe preceding Ronda Rousey named Gina Carano.
Right.
And Gina Carano was winning matches, but she wasn't quite in the same category of excellence as Rousey. Rousey's an accomplished actual, athlete where she won a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Right.
And, she obviously has made some big crossover maneuvers. I think she's filming her 4th feature film now. She was in the Entourage movie, played a major role in there. She's endorsing just about everything, beauty shots, covers of magazines. She's got that nice mix of babe in a rough sport. Danica Patrick cashed in on that. She wasn't even that hot of a babe, right?
Right.
Is Sharapova really that hot of a babe when you look at it, or is she just hot because she's a tennis player and the other women all look like guys?
She makes great noises too, Sharapova, right?
Oh, geez, I mean, imagine in the bedroom with her, there would be no denying it, right? Did you have sex? Of course, right? The whole neighborhood. She sets off car alarms in the next driveway.
I always like to tick off my neighbors. I always like to be that guy where the whole neighborhood they don't like you, because you're known.
Well, it was such a celebration and you got laid.
Well, no, but I mean you're known for big parties. And
you would get out with a megaphone. It was her. As the woman embarrassingly was leaving your house under the cover of darkness.
No, I mean that'd be a great girlfriend to have, right? I mean, come on. At least everybody would know when you were getting laid. I mean.
Anyway, the Rousey thing. There's one chick that can actually do any damage against this woman, and she's laced with steroids. This woman is the Ivan Drago.
Oh, you saw the fight.
MMA.
You witnessed the fight?
Well, I saw Cyborg fight Gina Carano. I was kind of following that a little bit because I had some interest in it because as a boxing guy, I do remember when they foisted upon the public women's boxing. Right. And there was a time they demanded that every promoter that had a televised fight put a women's fight on the card, and then beyond that, they would go ahead and televise it.
Right.
And the problem was there just weren't enough good women. And there'd be one chick that had a little bit of talent, and then nobody else really could measure up. So she would be undefeated and win every fight in the first round. So I think that's what's happening with Ronda Rousey. This Cyborg chick who eliminated Gina Carano from mixed martial arts sent her packing into movies, and actually, to tell you the truth, you don't hear much about her anymore.
Right.
Quick fade into Oblivion, as Mike Tyson would say. She's the real deal, but she weighs like 270. And so the problem is they can't get him. No, she weighs like 150.
Right.
But they can't get him to find a weight. And Rousey, I think she's using a little bit of an excuse here that, hey, listen, get off the juice, Cyborg, and come down to $135, and then we'll fight.
Yeah, her next fight will probably be Misha Tate.
But she's already beaten this chick like 5 times. I mean, and that's the problem. I mean, there's no competition for her. They can't line anybody up. There's one chick out there. I should punch it up for you.
I know this girl that hangs out down at the
down
at that bar that I go to, Artie's Sportsman's Lounge in Hollywood. I mean, she looks like she could put out. She's big though. I mean, she probably would outweight class her, but yeah, don't mess with her. I mean, she knocks guys out at the bar.
I didn't see this thing, but it took like 34 seconds. She hit the chick over the head with a club.
All her fights have totaled like 23 minutes. You
know what I love about it though, and you love guys that do an about face when it comes to making money.
Yeah,
and that's that Dana White guy. I mean, what a total phoney this guy is.
Right,
comes out and says, "But I'll never have a woman ever in the UFC." Fighters. So all of a sudden he sees this chick.
Yeah, now it's
not only does he hire her, but he buys the organization she was from.
Yeah,
it's like the Gambinos came in and told the Genoveses, "This is our turf now." Snatches this chick out of nowhere and sets her up in a bunch of matches that we never heard of any of the opponents, and that's always the danger when you're trying to evaluate something like this. I'll give Rousey credit; she seems to be the real deal.
Right.
Gets an awful lot of attention.
But you don't know, right? Because you don't know these people that she's fighting. I mean, they make up a big story and they get a lot of hype. Yeah. It's almost like, who was your guy there, the boxer? There was that one boxer that, just rose right up to the top. And then you remember the whole story. The guy stunk. He beat an old Ken Norton, and then he beat The white guy from Long Island.
Jerry Cooney.
Jerry Cooney. I mean, that whole thing was a big money grab, right? And then he got in the ring when somebody could fight. He got shredded.
With Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes got
shredded. I mean, the poor guy. I mean, but it was a lot.
But at least he gave a representative showing. These chicks aren't even showing.
What did they give Ken Norton to fall down? I mean, come on. That was the real
did he
fight.
Fight Ken Norton?
He did. That was the fight where I think because of that. He earned enough.
He got the shot against
He earned
Holmes.
enough class, and everybody said, "Oh, well, then he must be real."
That was a big fight at the time.
Yeah, Kenny went
Greatest
swimming.
line,
I
by
mean,
the way,
I know he went swimming. That was a bunch of.
I don't know if you caught this. They had a marathon over the weekend on some movie channel of Rounders, my favorite gambling movie.
Oh, you love that.
Second only to the original Gambler with James Caan.
Paid the man his money.
This movie is just a classic.
I know, I love that.
And the best line in the movie is what's the guy's name? The actor he played the character Kanish, tall guy. He's in a lot of stuff.
Oh,
is
yeah,
that John Turturro?
It is.
Turturro? Is
Turturro,
that the guy?
yeah.
Okay, so he's in a Turkish bath in some slimy area of New York City, and Damon comes to him. Matt Damon
needs some dough.
And he needs, he needs 15 dimes right away to pay off KGB,
right?
Who's played by John Malkovich. And he had just taken a beating. They had cheated the cops in a game in some game.
Oh, and they got beat up in that Union Hall, upstate New York.
The cops beat the living daylights out of these guys. So he looks like he needs a cut man just walking into the place.
Yeah.
And Turturro says to Matt Damon, what happened to you? You look like Dwayne Bobbitt, who was the last big white hope before Jerry Cooney. Ugh. So it was all good stuff. Anyway, good time being with you. What are you wearing on your feet there? $100 sneakers?
No, these are.
Well, you wouldn't buy a James Harden pair.
These are the 2 for $100. You buy one, you get the second one half price over at the rack room over there. But before we go,
James Harden, is that guy with the beard? I mean,
yeah, come on,
nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, who knows? The kids, who knows who the kids think are great?
$200 million. These sneaker companies must know what they're doing, or they're still
if
employing
they can get
slave labor in
get what you
somewhere
can
in the
get.
Philippines.
Come on, get what you can get. All right, for
what do you got?
The boys at Steel Fudge.
Yep.
My guys up there at Daytona.
You have an address now.
Daytona Nissan.
Meet me outside the Tropicana there.
Yeah. Wait till I get up there.
Bring
this may be my last.
No. In an envelope on unmarked bills, please.
We noticed you've been talking about Steel Fudge, and we don't.
Yeah, I've been saying such nice things.
Yeah, I don't like what you've been saying.
You've been saying a fudge is.
Forget it. I'm skipping Atlantic City. I'm not even going near that.
You're
place.
saying we're making our fudge with saccharin.
Yeah, we're gonna send some. Well, I just like the way he says it. Where you staying? You're at resorts. Yeah, we're gonna send Vinny the Hat and Joey the Boot over there. You go with them, and then we'll bring you down.
You gotta figure to make it that big in the fudge industry.
Yeah, stay away.
You have to have connections.
Yeah, really. Come on.
In Atlantic City, New
if you've
Jersey,
been in the
who are we
same,
getting near Steels?
Yeah,
let's face it.
These guys have been in the same spot on the boardwalk for 80 years.
Tied in with the Genoveses. I mean,
Sinatra came in there and got fudge. I mean, the horse, that horse that they used to throw off the pier, came in there and ate fudge.
The key is, and you should do this when you walk into any casino. Snap your fingers.
Yes.
Just raise your hand in the air.
I'll do this Friday. I'm going to take you.
See if people start scrambling. That's a sign that you're somebody. Right. Just give it one of those.
And what do you think's going to happen?
If you don't see any action, you're a loser.
You know you're a loser.
Otherwise, it's like, Mr. Martinez, can I get you a limo? Mr. Martinez, would you like something to eat? Here's $500 worth of comps at the Lobster House.
Yes, we have money in the cage for you right now. That'll be
some mysterious guy wired the money in for you.
They're going to put me in a cage. I'll be in a cage.
Right. All right, so what was your salutation here?
I was going to say to the boys up there at Daytona Nissan, thank you for tuning in. These guys are in there all the time.
Car?
The car's great. Yeah, the car's fantastic. Yes.
I would think a guy like you would feel somewhat uncomfortable in a new piece of equipment.
I am. I'm very tentative when I'm driving a thing.
Like the first move you would make is to take a sledgehammer to the door. Put a nice dent in there.
You've never had anything nice. What is... I drove the Exploder for 8 years. I mean, that thing was held.
The car even starting. What are you talking about?
That thing was held together with
every time
duct
I
tape
see you,
and
you're on the phone with somebody about, just put water in the battery. These are guys that borrowed your car. Your own son.
I had like 8 cans of Fix-A-Flat in the back of the car. I couldn't afford.
Gargling with Flex Seal. You're unbelievable.
God.
All right, so that's it. And you wanted to say what? I never let you finish.
I don't know what else I wanted to say. I'm losing it.
Todd, he's watching.
Oh,
Todd, where the hell are you, Todd, my buddy? Yeah, jeez.
We missed that guy.
Yeah, no, he's the guy that knew to put the thing up there.
He's a hard-working guy, and he can reach up there.
He put the thing up there, and all the static went away. Todd, thanks. I remembered you put it up there. I told Jory we'll never have the problem again. I
think he might have deliberately sabotaged the thing so that the static would come into play.
So that Jory would really think he needs Todd to be here on these remotes.
He plugged like a satellite dish on the other side of the wall there.
He comes over, he's unplugging the wires, he's sticking them everywhere. I mean, anyway, well, it was
He's
good.
Got like an Iranian nuclear plant plugged in on the other side. He's wondering why we're going down on our internet steam when we had like megabytes to begin with, or whatever that is.
Well, thanks everybody for
Yeah, it
watching.
was a lot of fun.
If any of you are really watching, thanks for watching. And we'll be back.
$200 million for James Harden. You got to be kidding me.
I'm back tomorrow, and then that's it.
Then you're
I'm on my way. I'm going to send you a live remote from the Jersey Shore.
I think we're going to hook up a thing there. Joey's got people in Jersey.
I'll give you a report from the boardwalk.
We'll we'll have one of those split screen things
in Atlantic City.
Get really sophisticated. Let's go to Kyle in New Jersey, where I say something, and 5 minutes later you start. Oh yeah, Joe.
yeah. Oh,
God, you're right. Yeah.
Hiya.
All right, we're going to the videotape. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, watch us on videotape. We got all these things cataloged.
Archived.
You can archive all of the shows if you want to watch any more of this crap.
Just go cross-reference some of the shows, see if we're using the same material.
Yeah. I don't think we do. I think we're too nuts. We can't remember anything we said yesterday anyway.
I don't remember what we said in the first segment.
Hello.
I'll see you next time on SportsStreamNetwork.com.
Oh.